everybody. How's it going? I'm Ette and I use they them pronouns and today is getting to know me. Yeah, I'm gonna say hello to everybody in the side chat. And if somebody's wanting to come in to the StreamYard and help me out, that is, you're more than welcome. But I want to start off saying that I will try my best to answer any questions you guys have. If I'm not comfortable, and I will say so, and I won't answer that question. um, yeah, so I'm going to say hello to the side chat. So let's scroll all the way to the top. I remember Atina said hello first, and there's Critical Cripple. Hello. And Mr. Wonderful. Hello to you. Hello, Ark, aka Stud Muffin. Like, I can't remember how that happened. I'm sure it's been re explained to me, but I've instantly forgot. But Ark is now Stud Muffin for everybody that doesn't know. Hello, Deconverted Man. Lovely to see you joining us. Hello, Doomver. And hello, Crafty Keela. And hello to 9 o'clock Hero. Okay, so this is the first time I've done one of these all by myself. So I'm a little bit nervous and quite excited, but also, I don't know what's gonna come out of my own mouth, so we shall see. You feel like you already do? Yeah, you do know a lot about it and my little existence in this world. I kind of thought it was time that I did my own because I kind of feel like, I realized coming on and asking people to talk about themselves um, isn't very fair if I don't do it myself. So, oh yeah, there's an Alien X as well. And if I've not said hello to Anna, hello to Bexy. She's just popped up there. Um, okay, so my first question of today is, where are you from? And I'm from Scotland, the Bonnie Banks of beautiful Scotland. And yeah, Edinburgh particularly. So woo! However, I am the only one from Edinburgh in my family. The rest of my family are all from Liverpool, and before that, they're from Ireland. And before that, who knows? But apparently, we all did actually originate back from Scotland again on my dad's side of the family, I believe. So that's fun. Uh, I shall hide that question. But yeah, I remember on one of my streams, I asked I oh, don't you worry, Crafty. I'm sure you'll be used to my babbling away at you by now anyway. Deconverted man's asking if I have a family crest/castle. No, I do not. I'm really never been that important. Neither is my family. They aren't to me, but you know, no, we don't have a family crest. We do have a tartan, but not but not a crest or a castle. Well, you're welcome to ask all the questions you want. It's also, I'll do my best to answer what I can. Yeah, I did ask UKPI what was he like as a little kid. So I'ma tell you what I was like as a little kid. I was definitely a firecracker. I was fiercely wild with my emotions. I could be a little bit vicious, a little bit feral, um, lots of lashing out going on until, I was able to communicate a bit better because I did have a speech problem, growing up. Um, yeah. As I said, I've not done one of these ones by myself before, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to do the talkings. Pretty good at talking though. Pretty good at talking now. Um, uh, yeah, fears. But I was also undiagnosed with a bunch of things as a little kid. So I didn't actually learn how to read until I was 11. Partly due to my dyslexia, partly due to the fact that nobody picked up on that I was dyslexic and nobody realized I couldn't read. I was one of them kids that slipped through the cracks. Um, Kind of like a lot of kids, unfortunately. It turned out most of my teachers mouthed the words of the book as you went along. So I lip read my teachers, and I said what they were saying, and that's how I kind of got away with until about 11, learning how to read. So I could read like basic words, but there was a lot of confusion and challenges with that. Um, in high school, I was still a little firecracker, and then when 2 days before my 13th birthday, I was ran over, and then I became the quiet kid that didn't speak, that apparently threw themselves in front of that car, which totally never happened. Hello, UKPI. I was just talking about you. um, yeah. So what actually happened was I was ran over at a Green Man outside a police station, and they still arrived in cars, and somehow the ambulance arrived before them. It was madness. Um, but lots of kids seen that happen, which it's not my fault, but also I feel guilty for, because you would. What else happened? Well, there's lots of stuff that's happened. I'm actually surprised it's still around after going to Australia, because I absolutely love animals, and animals there were danger zones. I was bitten by a possum, swam with a shark, swam with dolphins, and a really noodly scary jellyfish, but I thought it was so cute and awesome. And the converted man has given me all the questions. Okay. Okay. So, first question, what's my favorite food or drink? I love pasta, and most pasta dishes is my favorite. And drink is elderflower and apple sparkling water, which unfortunately they're no longer selling. I can't find it anywhere. It's driving me insane because it's my favorite drink and I drink it all the time. Um, I sleep on my left side. Like I start to sorry, no, that's a little bit of a porcupine. I start to fall asleep on my left hand side and then I roll over to my right and then I'm out for the count. I cannot sleep on my back or my belly. Um Now, when are you going to do the song? I have no idea when I'm gonna do the song. I don't have the tune with the lyrics by itself. So once I can figure that out, yeah. Whenever that is. Yes, I was run over by a lady going for a red light on her end. And I don't know if I survived. I don't know. Maybe not in one piece. It definitely messed up my leg um, which at the important growing stage didn't help. Um, yeah, okay. I think I answered all that. Okay, where are we? The time, see, I did not try and drown Crafty at sea. However, I was the one telling us we should go back. So, like along a ways, there's this island called Kramid Island, and you can go along this like pier when the tide goes away. And what happens is the the water obviously goes away, and then when tide comes in, it comes back, and then you get stranded on the island. And we all went across, me, Tatty, Tusk, and Crafty, and well, I was eating my ice cream, right? I waddle, and Crafty's waddling at the moment too, so we were both waddling together, and you know, isn't this more a story of you guys abandoning me and Crafty? Like, me with my dodgy hip and Crafty with what's going on with her at the moment? Like, isn't that like isn't the story more about that? Um, and I held her hand because we were brave together as the tide was coming in. But I told her it'd be all right because she would be a submarine anyway. So yeah, that's the truth. That's um and that's that juice that's in the green bottle. See, I'm not the biggest fan of it because me and Tusk used to get it all the time, so it kind of killed me. Like, can't drink anymore, like of it. But I do apple and elderflower, Morris's own, or you could get it in Asda as well. Yes, that was my favorite, but they've stopped. Mm. Looking for questions. See, I did leave school halfway through the day to go to a protest. I have told porcupines and said I was sick when I hasn't to get out of school, but I've never said I was going to school and didn't. Like I did remain in the house. I mean, I told my parents fine well that I was leaving the classroom to go to a protest, and they were like, you know what, stand up for what you believe in. Fair. Mhm. So yes, but no. Um, I would have many panic attacks in the morning, so I would actually be being sick. Um, so I wasn't necessarily lying about being sick, neither, but I just wasn't sick in the way that I couldn't go to school. Um, no, Tatty, no, you're telling all the lies. Telling all the lies. No, I tried to talk you guys out of it. Yep. You guys were running ahead. I was talking to Crafty. I was like, oh no, this makes me really nervous. I don't know how good this is going to go. Yeah. That's what really happened. Um, have I ever had unexplained weird things happen? Seen ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot? No, I have not. I've had weird stuff happen, like really weird stuff happen. Like one time I found an old man in the bin that was like fully alive. Um, you know, I've had a lot of unexplained and weird things happen to me. Don't know if you want to hear the old man in the bin story. I don't know how, you know, but that was an awfully weird experience. I was actually half an hour late for work because I did that and helped him get out the bin. The earth is not flat, critical cripple. Maybe. I do. To UKPI, do you believe in Nessie? I have to. She's in my heart. I believe in Nessie. I loves her very dearly. However, I don't know if I believe that she's this big, massive creature. I think maybe it's just a species maybe not found yet. And okay, man in the bin story. It is. So I was going to work when I was a creative assistant, helping young people get creative in the theater. So we were doing set design, costume design, and performance. So I was just that preppy person that helped out and give ideas. And I was on my way, and this was during Hurricane Ball Bag, and well, there was this little man, and he was in a bin, and I kind of pulled him out of the bin and helped him, got him his little jug of milk that he wanted in a newspaper, and helped him back into his house and told him he shouldn't have gone out in Hurricane Ball Bag because that was just not it. And he was fine, all was well. But as I said, I was late for work and nobody believed me that I found an old man in a bin. Like, that's an unexplained situation that not many people would say that I was, you know, being honest. But I really was. I was telling the truth. Did you ask him where he'd been? No, I did not, Tatty. I thought that would be awfully rude, considering he was just this tiny, cutest little old man. And hello, Christian. Um, I was, yeah, bless his wee heart. But Uh, yeah, Hurricane Ball Bag. Do you not remember? It was like ages ago, ages ago. There was a Hurricane Ball Bag. I can't remember what the name of it was originally, but when it got to Scotland, we renamed it as Ball Bag. It is actually a real thing. Just Google it. In fact, I'll see if I could quickly find a link of the news presenter saying Hurricane Ball Bag because it was really thing. It was the strangest experience. I don't know if I'm allowed to share it though. Okay, I think I think I might ask somebody else to find it because that is brain pickling me to listen to this and try and pay attention to the side chat. But if you do find a link to Hurricane Ball Bag being said in the news, please do. Use got Why did I start doing YouTube? I started first of all because lots of people were asking me. Like Tusk persuaded me to come on to a stream a couple of times. He said it was a good way to make friends and meet new people. But hobby started because first of all, one of my hobbies is because I absolutely love, love other people's hobbies. In fact, learning about their hobbies is one of my hobbies. And also partially because the stuff I'm interested in, absolutely nobody else is. Like, I like little random rocks I found. I don't know what type of rock it is, but it's a pretty rock, and I like gift them to my friends, and they're always like, "What the hell's this?" And I'm like, "I'm just a little gremlin. Here's a rock. I thought of you." You know, that's why. Um, Okay, UKPI, can you send it to me on the Discords? And I shall post it in the side chat. So everybody could see hurricane ball bag is a thing. Um, so yeah, that's why I started the YouTubes. There's like lots of different reasons, but originally I was really scared to start because, you know, throughout my life I'd got a lot of shtick for how I sounded, and what I was prepared to give to YouTube was my voice. Like I didn't want to go on camera or anything, and as you guys know, so for me it's an awfully brave thing to do, something that I've been made fun of for a long time to put out there. So it did take a little bit of persuading, but I can't remember how long Tusk was at me to get a YouTube account and start like joining in with him and his friends, and then I then I decided that I would do the YouTube because I was talking to a friend and he was like, "Right, you should probably do what you want." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm really scared." But yeah. So basically I got convinced to do it. I wanted to do it. I was too scared to do it, and then I got convinced to do it. Not very good at being brave for myself, but better at being brave for other people. Uh, yeah. No, friends are not overrated. They're very lovely humans, you know? They're good to be around. I mean, you don't have to hang around with them 24/7. The best of friends I've ever had is ones I hardly talk to and then I meet up with, and then it's like I've never I've never been apart from them. That's the best kind of friend I have. I'm very lucky to have the handful of friends I do, and I'm very lucky to have in real life, and I'm very lucky to have my friends here as well. Oh gosh, that's got deep. Um, what's the most important thing you've learned or life lesson to teach us? Oh, there's so many ways I could take this. Mm, um, be cautious of other people's intentions. It may seem nice and exciting to start off with it, but it may not be what you think. Um, that's one of the most important things I've learned. Um, I think that's a good life lesson. But what I think everybody should do also is, in a really soppy way, is just try their best to be the bestest human you can be, or dog, or giraffe, you can be, and make sure that your intentions are true and that you do what, the best thing for yourself and other people around you, and just genuinely just little tiny acts of kindness to make the world a nicer, prettier, friendlier place. Yes, Tati, you're so true. Beware of the guan guan. I shall see the link. Oh, there it is. I don't know if I'm able to show the link, but I will send it in the side chat. So this is ball bag. There we go. Yeah, I think that's the best life lesson. And keep those you adore in your heart, and look out for the underdog. You've got to look out for the underdog. Oh, got a soft spot for an underdog. Walk your life as painlessly to other people as you possibly can. You can't, I know you can't completely walk through life without harm, but you can do your best. Crafty's asking, who won the Celtic versus Rangers match? I have no idea, Crafty. Are you going to tell me? Like, I have no idea. And yes, you're a good friend, Deconverted Man. And there is an update on my the Minecraft that Deconverted Man made, but I do not know how to get into it myself. So, because I'm just an amazing, beautiful hacker, that can't get into Minecraft by themselves. But yeah. Yeah, Tatty, please tell me who won. It would be nice for you to tell me who won, because I have a funny feeling the better team maybe did win. Not that I'm a football fan, I'm only just winding you up. Yeah, Mr. Wonderful did say, oh, the wrong team. Mr. Wonderful did say that they would walk me through it again. Which I'm not sure if you guys are, I'm hoping you guys are wanting to see. If not, I will do it as a stream nonetheless, so that we can show Deconverted Man and show other people who's interested. Yeah. Wait, Tatty was watching it on your stream, Crafty? He was not paying attention to the stream? He was football? Well, I know I liked it, and it was one of my favorite presents. I could safely say. My head being a bunny-filled madness with like a karate dojo in the top was probably one of my favorites. Yeah, it's the fact that spend time on it, because I feel like that's one of the most precious things you can give to people. Your time. I think that's ridiculously soppy, but I think it's true. You had every right to tell him off for that, Crafty. The naughty, naughty Tatty. Tusk saying hoof his peas. And hello, Mark Caesar. It's not the most important stream. There's a lot more productive stuff going on other than me rambling on about myself. I'm just reading the side chat, trying to. So I'm guessing Celtic won then?
No, Rangers won, Celtic 2.
Oh, Tusk says no, Rangers won, Celtic 2. See, I'm not even a football fan. Apparently, the only team I'm allowed to support is Liverpool, so I can't get involved in none of it. And the only reason why I have to support Liverpool is because my dad said so. And, I do what dad says. Oh, the poor Tatty. Oh, it's terrible. That's what you get for watching it on Crafty's stream. And Jambo's Drew. Hmm. Well, I actually found out that I was cutting some guy's hair who used to play for Hearts, but I cannot remember his name, and I think that also breaches, like, what's it? The confidentiality? But he's a little old man, and he's a proper sweetheart, a man of few words. But he was highly interested in my axolotls. I could safely say I'm not that very into cricket neither, though. Yes, there is a hairdresser's client confidentiality. There is. Um, you can't go round like, well, you can't go around telling other people the businesses of your client. And to be fair, it's the same with dog grooming too. You can't really go around doing that. Um, but I do have a belief system that hairdressers should have the right or responsibility, not the right, the responsibility to do some kind of therapy training or something. I feel like they got to because, yeah, people tell the hairdressers everything. I don't think Crafty pretends to be Irish. No, I don't think she would do that. Oh, yeah, and I recently got some little baby plants, and I got them last week, I think, and last Sunday, and I've been trying my best to make them grow, but it appears I have killed my cactus, like utterly killed it. It's a fishbone cactus, I believe it's called. I could be wrong though. And some hairdressers are ridiculously gossipy, really, really gossipy. But some are not. Like they're just like normal people. Um, but they're not allowed to go around telling well, they should not be allowed to be going around telling other people the business of what's being said while they're getting their hair cut because they should not be sharing it. The most famous person I've met, like maybe I don't know. Trying to think. I'm not very good at remembering. I have met Eddie Izzard when I was really young. And I didn't know who he was. Um, Basically, he gave me a signed £20 note. I'm not sure if anybody already knows that story. If you want that full story, then give me a shout. I did meet Crafty, and that was great. We had a lot of fun. We had ice cream and give each other Easter eggs. Well, I give her an Easter bunny. And Tatty too. And we also went to Halloween together. That's my favorite time of year. Who else did I meet that was famous? Okay, see you later, deconverted man. Have a good sleep. Bye-bye. Um, there's people that I know that are famous but not famous, if that makes any sense. And the reason why is because I know the people that did the original song for Blade Runner with the Blood Rave. So I guess maybe them, but nobody knows them. They just know the song. You know, when all the blood's coming down from the ceiling and they're all dancing and stuff. I know the guy. Well, the two guys that did that. We do have superstar DJ friends. Did I have a bag for Halloween? Yes, I did have a Halloween bag. I had a little kitty bag that I found in Poundland, and it was so cute. No, I'm sure I said Blade. Well, if I didn't say Blade, I meant Blade, not Blade Runner. I'm just getting slightly distracted by the seagulls staring in the window at the budgie. But I can't shut the curtains because of my poor succulents. I don't want them to die. Because I accidentally snapped one by shutting the curtains because I was a bit too aggressive about shutting my curtains. Not that that matters too much. So, no, I'm not gonna let them in. You leave my budgie alone. She's my baby. Very special baby. She's my special baby. But they just keep flying around at the window and peeking out at us. Nothing's smaller than a snapped succulent. And the video scrap. What video scrap? I'm not sure what you mean, Critical Cripple. I'm sorry. Oh, wait a minute. I also met Critical Cripple. That was good. That was another awesome person. Oh. See, you can tell my brain's not with it today. I'm doing my best. I should have ever brought people on to bounce off with, but I do not. I feel like I should bully someone to join, and they can be the question reader and the questioner interviewer. What do you think? Who's gonna be bullied to come on to help? Who's gonna be bullied today to help me? Yeah, we did go on the ferry, on the Mersey, and the song was just on repeat. And my friend that was with us, me and Critical Cripple, had never heard that song before, and she'd never been in Liverpool before, so she was just like, "What is this? What is my life?" I think it's Bagsy you, Tusk. I think you gotta join. I think it's your turn. I call upon you, Tusk. Help me, help me. Sending the link to you now. If you don't do it, you're a chicken. And it, you know, the saying is you are what you eat, and you eat a lot of chicken, so. You're going to help me, my love. Oh yeah, Tusk's got this like really bad rashy situation and he's in a lot of pain. It's like he's got like a reaction to something. Somebody is gonna come and help. Yes, you are, please. It'll be that, or I'll bring the budgie on, and she'll just stare. Hello, little wolf. How are you today? Oh, ouchie. I hope your face is feeling a bit better soon, Critical.
I can't sit up.
Trying to think. No, he's not. It looks like he's been bitten by something. Maybe one of them, the leggy creatures. The lots of legs. Not a spider, something. Is it a clig? A click? An earwiggy? Mm-hmm. Trying to think if I have any more stories for story time. So where did we get up to? Oh, we totally missed my attempted kidnapping as well. We missed that story completely. Because that was before I was 12. Who knows? Who knows? How's about I nominate Doomver? Because Doomver's not been on before. Since you popped your head up. I shall wait on reply. I think he has already got a drink at the moment, but I don't know what it is. It should probably be alcoholic free though, with the amount of painkillers and antihistamines. Yeah, Doomver, you're getting bullied to come on. Do you consent to being bullied? What are we waiting on? We're waiting on me kidnapping somebody to help me tell stories because I realized I cannot do this by myself. I'm not very good. I feel like I should get some music to be playing quietly. Maybe not that one. Silence is so awkward. Or is that too distracting? Oh, thank you for having faith in me. I'm just not sure what stories or questions you guys want to know. I can't get the man in the bin. I can't. I don't even know. Oh gosh, I was about to say I don't even know if he's still around, which is really horrible, but it's true. He was a very, very old little man. He was absolutely tiny. I felt a giant. Where are you, Doomver? I shall hunt you down, and I shall send you a link on Discord. Welcome to being kidnapped by Ette. I think I just got this obsession because I was almost kidnapped. So then I'm like, ha ha ha. How did I learn to cut hair? I learned to cut hair in a barber's. Basically, I kept going there to get my mohawk cut, and I I basically said, "Hey, I really want to do that because I want to give people the feeling you give me whenever I leave." And then she said, "Yeah," so it happened. It was awfully nice, and it was really fun. But also, I need to remember that at some point I need to bring Doomver on for hobbies because Doomver's got a lot of really interesting hobbies. But yeah, which is a lot of fun. Have I cut anybody's ear? I haven't cut, but I have accidentally taken a tiny bit of dead skin. You know the little tiny bit of the ear at the top that attaches to the head around the hairline? It, I've nicked that on a elderly gentleman, had a lot of really dry skin. I did not intend to do so, but I have accidentally done that. It was not my proudest moments, but it was because his skin was that soft tissuey paper texture, which kind of got between the clippers a little bit. I felt so bad about it, but yeah, I have. It is a newer avatar. I've had it for a little while. Yes, I asked Yosham to give me little balloons to represent the Ukrainian flag and to say that I support them. So yeah, Gio made it. It was really cute. It's my favorite. Also, Doomver, if you did want to join, you do not have to you do not have to go on camera or anything. You need to play interviewer. And then next time we will roleverse and you can be the interviewee. If I shave Tusk's head, does he lose his powers? No. Unfortunately, when you shave his head, because he gets he's bald, like he gets a right down with a razor. When you shave his head, what happens is his head's kind of like, you know, them eco-friendly lamps that are outside that absorb the sunlight. It does that, and it absorbs all the light, and it gives him his powers. So in fact, it enhances his powers. And hello there, look, I kidnapped you.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Good.
I was like, I need somebody to kidnap because I'm not doing very well about talking about myself. I just start talking about plants and other people.
Yeah. So, should I just start asking questions, or
Whoa, you can help
how are we
me.
doing this?
I don't know. How should we do? This is a game of you pretend that you're me. You're me.
Mm,
You just exist in joyfulness.
well, that's a change. So,
Right? Because it's also a change for me too. Yeah. Despite also always sounding very chirpy, my voice is definitely misleading. How does... Oh, can you see the comments? Do you know how to get to them?
let's see.
On the right-hand side of your StreamYard, there at the top should be comments. So you click on that and you can see the live comments coming up.
I'm looking here. Yeah. I see it says chat down here, but I don't.
Does it say private chat?
No, it just says
yeah.
chat.
Okay, well then it should be that one. You should see Mark Caesar asking you a question.
Private chat. I'm in private chat, it says.
Oh. You don't want to be there.
Okay, here we go. I see it. I see it. The provincial overtaking. I see it.
So how's it going?
I'm going to try to rule with an iron fist.
Good. Also, would you like to give your pronouns as well, just so everybody knows?
Yeah, I'm here, him. That's fine.
Cool. And we can call you Doomver?
Yes.
Cool. Sorry, I cut you off. I didn't intend to. What were you saying?
I think my son's pulling in outside, so my dog's about to go nuts.
Doggy.
Settle down. Yes.
Does that go for Sir Little Wolf too?
Are you talking to me?
Yep.
What's with Sir Little Wolf?
Does Sir Little Wolf also need to settle down? Because, you know, he's a wolf.
Oh.
He's a wolf. And he may get excited when the door goes too.
Settle down. Oh boy.
And hello, Krista. How are you today? So, are you doing good today, Doomver?
Yes, I am.
Yay.
I have a little bit of chaos going on right now.
It's okay. Don't worry. You live in chaos and you love chaos. It is what it is. And I realize I will put you in the description and be like, the kidnap to assist. Doomver. Wait, you have 2 YouTube channels though, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Oh man. I'll be right back.
Okay. Hello, I'm doing well, Chris. My shoulder's a lot better today. I wanted to make sure that I tried to do a stream today because I cannot come on next week because I have a tattoo appointment that I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a long time to do. So I may struggle a little bit. I will ask Doomver the breed of his dog when he's back. Although I think I already know this answer, but I will not speak for him. What is the worst and best dog for grooming? Says UKPI. Okay, so how do I say this? How do I say this? I don't have a worse dog that I've been around. I also do not mean but I do have a dog that seems to have a lot of misinformation spread about it. It's not necessarily a breed, it is a cross, and it's most poodle crosses. Unfortunately, people seem to think that they can't be groomed until they're a year old, which is not true. This is complete false information. They can be groomed after they've got both of their injections, and you can do lots of work at home with the puppy to help this dog, because if it's a poodle, it's gonna need groomed for his entire life. So yeah, it's a poodle cross. Poodle cross because their owners struggle with keeping them mat free. I wouldn't say it was the worst, but I would say it was challenging, and it's hard and sad when you keep seeing the same breed of dog going through the same troubles. The best is probably in Newfoundland, because I love Newfoundland. You get to bath it and blow it all out the dryer and cut sanitary areas and give them a little bib so that they don't drool on themselves. I love a Newfoundland groom, although it can take up to 3 hours, and 2 of that is drying him. So yeah, I quite like the bathing and grooming of a Newfoundland, because he's just, yeah, they're gorgeous. But I don't have a favorite necessarily. The main groomer does have a dog, a little white chihuahua that she dies to help prevent theft. But he's my favorite dog, so to speak, because he's just like me. He's a nervous wreck, and I love him. No, I don't mean the guy from Fantasyland. I'm actually getting a tattoo. Well, adding to my collection. I put off getting a tattoo until I was 50. I got a really nice dragon. It took 13 and a half hours. My tattoo artist was a bit of a perfection. Was it like a full back piece or something you managed to get, Mark Caesar? Because that's a real long time. Or was it like a whole leg? Or the longest I've gone is 6 hours. No, that's a lie. 8 hours, when that was my chest piece that I got done. And my underbust was 6, I believe. So like, I've seen, but then if you put my tattoo on somebody else's chest, it just disappears. But that's because I'm only little. The problem I have getting tattoos is they keep having to make it smaller and smaller and smaller so that it'll fit where I want it to go, because they always like overestimate the size of me. Just your shoulder. It took 13 and a half hours. Was it like your shoulder and it went like down your back, or was it like your top arm?
All right, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry. I was just still figuring out why it took 13 and a half hours for Mark Caesar to get a dragon tattoo.
Oh, it must be a big one.
Just your shoulder. Huh. That must have been not fun. Did you do them in settings, or did you just do it straight? Because I don't think I could have lasted that. Although the shoulder isn't bad. What do you think, Doomver?
The worst I've had was my chest.
See, I didn't mind my chest.
Do you have your sternum done?
Yeah, that wasn't
That
fun.
was the spot. That was the one.
Like
Like
because mine was 2 separate pieces put together.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have a good bit. Like my chest is pretty much covered up to my throat, and like the sides of my neck and stuff. I didn't think the throat and neck were too bad.
Ooh, I will note that.
There's that little ditch where your collarbones meet, like under your throat. That little thing's weird, but other than that, it didn't hurt.
My sternum kind of felt like I had somebody. Now, bear in mind, everybody knows I hate belly buttons and I don't want my belly button touched. But it felt like my tattoo artist had their finger in my belly button and was pulling
yeah.
it down. And I was like, I'm gonna be sick.
Yeah, it felt like, I mean, this is going to be a little bit gross, but it felt like they were pulling my belly button from like my butthole. like
Yeah.
like they reached up in and then somehow found my belly button, was trying to pull it down out of my ass, is what it, with something electric
Yeah, that's kind of how it
and
felt.
pointy.
And it, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not
Yeah.
for, yeah. Okay, see you in a bit, little wolf. Yeah, I don't know. That was all right. My sternum. Once it was done, it was done. Mine was 6 hours. That was an apprentice piece. Just before she became qualified. Sorry. Just because before they became qualified.
Oh, gotcha.
They just came out a couple of weeks ago, and this is the first time I've spoken about them since. So, apologies.
I'm sure they forgive you.
I hope so. I know I do when people do it. But yeah, it was really cool of them because I was their first sternum.
Oh. Yeah, I never even thought of it from the artist's perspective, how each little area is going to have its own little tricks of stretching the skin out and get angling to get the gun in there.
See, I find it weird, but I always like to watch. I like to watch what they're doing. That's why I knew that she didn't have their finger in my belly button. Jesus, got it. That's why I knew they didn't. And they were just like, it was really strange because like I was lying on my back and they had to put like a pillow underneath me to help stretch me out a little bit more. And to make sure that I was comfortable. And they were like kneeling on me. That was probably the most intimate tattoos I've ever had because I was holding their boob by accident. But it was what it was, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, and I mean, they're putting their mark on you, that's going to be there forever, and yeah. To me, as like if you were an artist, that would be intimidating.
Yeah.
To have walking canvases and critics of your art,
I mean, there's always going to be someone that doesn't like your tattoos. A couple of my tattoos, people are like, but why? And I'm like, because I like it. That's why. That's why. I love it, and
yeah, I mean, hell, I got a few that I regret, but
I only have one I regret. I only have one tattoo I regret, and that's on my thigh. I have Ariel, and this is not intended to offend anybody that happens to have Down syndrome, but my Ariel looks like she has Down syndrome. Now, I'm all for like inclusion, but that's not what I asked for.
Right.
And it was a scratcher that did it because I was in a really bad head place, and I just wanted to get a large amount of my scars covered up before going on holiday.
Yeah, that's something else. I wrote it down. I wanted to talk to you about is the are you talking about like psoriasis?
Oh, I have psoriasis,
that type of scars.
No, trigger warning. It's self-harm scars that I've had.
Oh,
but I do have psoriasis.
Yeah, let's go that route.
Okay.
Because I was curious because I think I have it. Is it like Do you get like little scabby things in your hairline?
Well, in my hairline, I have somewhat circular patches of scabs of dry skin.
Mm-hmm.
And what psoriasis is, it's a buildup of dead skin cells on top of each other that creates an almost like fungal infection. But it's just unfortunate that it just doesn't go away. A lot of the time, it just doesn't go away. I was born with mine.
Yeah.
I know some people it displays when they're older. But for me, I had it from the get go. I could not diagnose you with psoriasis, but
No,
I can suggest things and may be able to help it. I mean, I exfoliate my scalp daily, and I've got this little gentle brush that I just rub over my scalp and get rid of all the loose skin follicles, so to speak. It sounds really gross when you put it like that, but that's what I do.
yeah.
I make sure that it stays clean, and I dry my head regularly. But the one thing that really did wonders, when I was 8, I went to Australia for a month, for Christmas and New Year. And I was in and out of the sea in the sun. And getting the sun onto your scalp and skin when you have these issues,
Yeah.
it's, you know, it really did help. So maybe some Epsom salts baths and trying to get yourself out into the sun. I know it's hard, and that's where the people are, but I think it's the vitamin D from the sun that really did help. I used to have big patches on my cheeks of eczema that
Yeah.
was really bad. The backs of my knees, my elbow welts, behind my ears, like all the really sensitive places you really don't want dried, cracked skin. I had that.
Yeah.
So
I
I
got
was
it
like a
behind my
little mummy.
ears and like wherever my facial hair grows in at, like it likes to pop up
Yeah.
around there. My eyebrows.
Oh yeah, I used to get in my eyebrows a lot. I've managed to keep like I plucked my eyebrows to death, so that's helped.
And I got really, really long hair. Like I got hair like down to the top of my butt. So
I think
it
your
just looks
eyebrow
like I'm
hair
a
is longer than my
dandruff.
hair.
So it looks like dandruff all the time.
Oh yeah,
Like,
it is. It's awfully embarrassing for people who don't understand, isn't it?
yeah. Because it makes you feel like you're a dirtbag or something, like you're not
You're like,
washing
no,
and
I shower every day so that I can put cream on. I
yeah,
can put
and it
cream on
doesn't help.
immune skin. Okay, so UKPI, I'll comment on what you've said, Mark Caesar. Don't worry, I've not forgotten about you. But this one's relevant just now. Sir, UKPI is saying psoriasis is an immune deficiency. Your body thinks it's being attacked and it builds more cells to
Oh,
combat it.
got it.
That will definitely explain why I've got such a weak immune system.
My immune system ain't real bad. It just evidently it expresses itself that way. Like whatever whatever inferiorities I have comes out with extra skin making.
See, I don't know. I look at somebody sick on the telly and I catch it. Like that's me. Like,
I
like you
haven't
guys.
been I haven't
Me
been sick
neither.
in like 5 years. Like I haven't had
Oh,
a cold.
give me some of that.
Yeah.
I've almost permanently got some kind of cold. But my skin's hypersensitive, so I've always got some kind of rash somewhere about something. Ugh.
Mm.
But
Yeah, my skin's picky too.
I have to be really cautious about what creams and shampoos and hair products. Like, I actually built up an intolerance towards bleach. Like, I had a little bit of an allergic reaction to bleach for your hair. And then one day I went to the hairdressers, the one I used to work in. I got my hair done and I felt my scalp moving. I've never felt that before. It felt like my hair individually was wiggling. What? It was
weird.
horrible. Yeah. And then my forehead, straight down my nose, and my mouth went bright red. It traveled down my throat, across my whole chest, down my stomach, and then just spread over my entire body. I was bright red with blotches.
Wow.
And I was like, "Can we wash this off, please?" And then she looked at my face and she was like, "Oh, fuck." And then she washed off my hair, and I literally stripped naked and ran to the bathroom because I can't take antihistamines. I'm allergic to antihistamines. And which is shit considering I'm allergic to everything. So I just started pouring like water and paper towels all over my body, and I was just standing there like my clothes, like from the front shop, like it was like my jacket, and then the door slammed and it was like my t-shirt, my bra, my pants, my socks, my underwear. Like it was just a trail to the bathroom. I must have looked like a total weirdo, but she was my friend and she knew me enough to know that I knew what I needed to do to get me better. But my whole throat felt like it was closing up and my lips were swollen really bad, and I literally stayed in that shop till maybe 4 o'clock at night. Now I went there and I got my hair done after the shop shut, so that was maybe about 7. So I stayed there for my rash to die down because we were deciding whether or not to go to hospital.
Oh, yeah. In case your breathing got worse.
Yeah, so I didn't want to go to sleep yet and have a clogged throat in my sleep.
Yeah.
I came home and Tusk was all tucked up in bed, blissfully unaware that I may have been in a really dangerous situation. But before I forget, I will comment on what Mark Caesar said. Trigger warning again. Ette, it's shocking to me to hear you self-harmed. My opinion, you is such a happy-go-lucky person who is great value to interact with. You're too good to think of self-harm. I'm gonna say that I have a really positive attitude about a lot of things. That's never a lie. That's always there. However, I'm not always the happiest person, and I haven't done it since last year now, which is good for me. I've done really well. I do have BPD. I am currently in therapy, trauma-based therapy. So yeah, I do have really unwell moments where I'm not very good at all. But my voice,
I do too.
I think everybody does, I
And
think everybody can
coincidentally
be
enough,
unwell.
I was diagnosed with BPD too. So I get where you're coming from a lot whenever you say stuff like that. So
Yeah, it's
you're not
kind of
alone
like,
out there.
no, nobody's ever alone when they have some kind of really heavy, because I mean, BPD has a lot of stigma behind it. And
Yeah, part of the stigma was not diagnosing males with it.
100%.
So it was hard for me to get diagnosed with it.
It's awful. And I mean, one of the things with BPD is being impulsive and self-harming behavior. That's literally two of the symptoms right there. So I think I genuinely think I started when I was really young. I was maybe maybe 7 when I first started self-harming in one way or another.
Yeah.
I won't go into full details because I don't want to trigger or upset anybody, but it has always been there for me, and unfortunately, it was a coping strategy for quite a while that it's hard to get out of. I really wish that I never started because sometimes if you start, it's really hard to stop. Um, it does become like a crutch, and I find it really difficult to look after my own emotions. So I would care for physical injuries that would help me process how I was feeling on the inside.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, unfortunately, it wasn't a really healthy one.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you. Like I was young whenever I would self-harm, but it wasn't
Mhm.
it it was kind of mild self-harming if there is such a thing, but then somebody saw the marks and I actually got attention for it because I wasn't really doing it for attention at that time. And
Mhm.
then that kind of triggered that side of it, like, oh, that that I somebody actually talked to me, like it
Yeah.
was,
Well,
so
I do get that.
and
I
and I can see how the
definitely.
tattooing could help you out also
Mhm.
to fill
Oh, it
that
does.
fill that itch.
It does really help. I think I mean I can safely say I never did get attention for my self-harm because where I would hurt myself, nobody else would see.
Hmm.
They would it would always be like my thighs, my breasts, my rib cage, like places I would never show.
Yeah.
Um, so but there was the self-hatred with the chest because it sometimes gives me like body dysmorphia because I've always had a trouble with my chest and the fact that it existed because I always felt like I shouldn't have one. Not that I felt like I was a guy, but it really confused me because I was like, I'm fine with having, you know, a noonie, so to speak, down there, but with having a
Yeah.
chest, it feels far too girly, and I've always felt like that.
Huh.
Occasionally, like I'm like, haha, pretend that they're like some magical thing that suddenly sprouted on me, and it's a new fun game. But like
Yeah.
but other times I find it really hard that it exists. I'm not currently self-harming, and I hope not to again. It's sorry, I'm just reacting to Mark Caesar's comment.
Oh, that's
Here,
okay.
I'll read it out
Go
to
ahead.
you. Hearing that you self-harm makes me realize that people are very different than our perception of them. What someone is behind closed doors makes entirely different than the yeah. Yeah. It is very true. However, I do feel like my voice can be really misleading even if like if you get to know me, you'll know that like my voice has changed and I'm not feeling very happy or I'm not very comfortable. But because I have this sort of more higher pitched voice, and when I talk about things, I get really into it, regardless of how upsetting it makes me or whatever. It can be really misleading, and it's not that I'm trying to be, but it's true. Um, you don't know what's going on for somebody. That's why I always say, like, do your best with what you've got, and just try and be kind to people, because you don't know their struggles. You really don't know. I mean, there's reasons behind me going to psychotherapy that's trauma based. Like
Yeah.
there are lots of demons and wounds in there. Lots.
Oh yeah.
Lots.
And people put on a good face for everyone else. You put on a good show and you hide what's really going on in there.
I'm forever guilty of it. I am really guilty of it. I won't lie to anybody if they ask me how I am. I'll never lie. Not anymore. As of this year, I've decided I'll never say I'm okay when I'm not. Like,
Yeah.
it's a rule. But,
It's like you're trying not to burden somebody else with your problems.
yeah.
Or at least that's what it is with me sometimes.
No, it's true. It feels like people need to be people do need to be more cautious and allow others to open up when they need to, rather than shutting them down and being like, that's not nice, and then just carry on with their own stuff. And it's like, oh no. Oh no.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And your dog speaks for it too.
Yes, she agrees.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh yeah, Mark Caesar, she's an Australian cattle dog, by the way.
Thank
I
you.
forgot. Yes.
Well, thank you very much. And I feel like I am trying my best to work on myself more. I feel like all you can do is work on yourself one day at a time. And when it comes to BPD, it's maybe 1 minute at a time, and working on yourself, and trying to make sure that you can try and keep on an even keel of emotions, which, as we all know, BPD has been described as bipolar but fast. So it's really difficult.
It's sneaky too. It gets in there and starts doing stuff before you even know it. And then when you start acting, it's too late. At least from my experience.
Sorry. Can you repeat that again for a second? My brain glitched.
I said the BPD is kind of sneaky sometimes. It gets in there and starts working before you know what's happening, and then you make a real quick reactionary emotional outburst.
Yes.
And then you immediately regret it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you flash back and forth. Well, at least I will like flash back and forth from, oh, I feel terrible, to, well, screw that, I'm, whatever. And then I'll be like, oh, no, I feel terrible. And then back to like, well, fuck them. And then I do that shit for, yeah.
I'm giggling because it's so true.
Yeah.
You literally, it's like, you'll do something, you're like, well, I told them what's for, and then you'll be like, I should never have done that, and it's like, well, they deserved it, and it's like, oh, but I'm a bad person now for doing that, and it's like, no, but it was the right thing to do, no, but fuck them, and then it's like, wow, but I'm so angry and I'm upset with me. Like,
yeah.
it's like a constantly game of blaming yourself for everything else. It's a definitely self-sabotage all over. Hello, Iris Stew. Welcome to this conversation. Yeah, it is very much like the old school advice for depression: get a grip of yourself. Unfortunately, I do that to myself because society's told people for so long that this is how it should be, when it really shouldn't. When I ask how somebody is, I really don't want to hear, how long do you have? Yeah. See, that's what that exact thing is why I get scared to tell the whole truth. I'll normally just say, I'm not having the best day. What about you?
Yeah, I usually say it's been better, it's been worse,
Uh-huh. But in reality, I've been sobbing for like 5 hours straight. I now have a headache, and because I'm dehydrated and I can't bring myself to get off the couch to drink a glass of damn water.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have any of my safe drinks that I will always drink regardless of how I feel, because they no longer stock them, and that's apple and elderflower sparkling water. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know. I struggled with it for a long time, and just I don't even know what I thought was going on with myself. I knew I had a problem, but it was like once everything had built up and I would freak out and break something or hurt someone or where it would like I would release it somehow, then I would feel better in some weird way. And I would put off trying to get therapy or help or something, because I'd be like, oh, well, I won't do it again now. I flew off the handle that time, but I won't do that again. And I've done it, I've been doing it all my life.
Yeah.
But this particular time, that's the last one.
Yeah. That is literally why I was that's literally why I was throughout my life I've been in and out of different therapies and CBT and this thing and that thing. At the moment now they're thinking I may like be autistic, and that might be part of the problem. Well, not problem, but part of the solution in finding out another reason why I am the way I am. But it's difficult now when you start getting a laundry list of diagnoses and not many solutions, because BPD is one of the scariest ones I can say. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm gonna be brutally honest here. 7 out of 10 people with BPD, how do we say this? Go for a long sleep before everybody else.
Yeah.
Intentionally. And this is why, you need to know what it is and learn for yourself, so that at least that you can, try to work on it. Or, you can be that scary.
Yeah.
You can be that situation. I mean, I've tried several times.
Like you were saying, when you're bouncing back and forth from the I feel terrible for that person or fuck them, or when you're bouncing back and forth like that, that's splitting. You're that's where it starts. You get into the gray areas where it's splitting personalities, and people think of like the Jekyll and Hyde crazy shit, but it's not. It's an internal struggle that's going on inside you. And I mean, in males, it usually gets expressed in violence, outwardly at other people, and then you feel terrible for doing that, and then you may want to do something to yourself. And or I mean, in even darker areas, like there's people that like they think Ted Bundy and Gacy and a few serial killers had BPD and just weren't diagnosed with that back then, because it was the 70s.
And I could be wrong here, and if people do know, correct me. They have changed the name of BPD. Now, some people agree with it, some people don't. I believe they changed it to emotional instability disorder. Because that's what it is.
I mean, that's a pretty good description.
But I I was diagnosed with BPD, and I keep forgetting that it's been changed. And I mean, I was diagnosed at 18. I think actually how it happened was I went to my GP and they blamed it on my periods and puberty
Oh no.
and all of that. And I'm like, I'm actually 18, you know? And they were like, ah. And I literally just unbuttoned my trousers and pulled them down and then pulled up my shirt and said, look, ma'am, you need to get me help now. Like before this
Oh shit.
escalates any
Showed her the
further,
yeah.
you know.
Showed her the marks.
And I feel ever so guilty for just totally dumping that on her, but
That's
I
what she
swear
gets. They
to
were trying to
God,
blame it on your crazy female hormones. You
yeah,
know,
if
fuck them.
she gave me another meditation tape, I was gonna lose my shit. Like, here's a
Meditation tapes.
mindfulness tape. And I'm like, mate.
Here's a
like,
block of Himalayan pink salt and a meditation tape.
Yeah, thanks. There's only so much. Like, I was in and out of like the child's adolescent mental health service for years, and still then they didn't want to diagnose me because I hadn't hit puberty and I hadn't gone past them hormones. And I mean, their genius solution at the time was to put me on the pill.
Yeah, that's yeah. I don't even know what to say about it. Like they were going totally down the wrong road.
Yep. They just weren't taking me seriously. And I mean, by that point, a lot of stuff that was my traumas had already happened. So they thought it was maybe PTSD or that I was depressed or, you know, and they just, just kept bouncing these things at me and nothing fit right until I finally got real proper help rather than, here's a drawing. How do you feel when you make that drawing? Ugh. I mean, that helped some people, but it wasn't helping me at the time.
Yeah, and like in the United States, it's bad with anybody that has a religious belief that happens to be a psychiatrist will start trying to tell you whatever that particular belief might, you know, maybe you got a demon, maybe, you know, like you never know.
Oh God.
You start getting Christian therapists over here that like to tell you Jesus is mad because you're well, for you, you're non-binary, so that would be there's your problem.
To be fair, my problem would have been that I had a girlfriend, if anything, at the time.
Oh yeah.
So, like, because I only came out last year in June.
Oh.
As non-binary.
See, and I noticed, like, when you said you were diagnosed at 18, how long ago was that?
A long time ago now.
See, I have no idea how old you are.
I'm an age. I'm an 8 years old.
The reason I asked was because I was only diagnosed, I'm 43 right now, and I was diagnosed maybe 5 years ago. So I went my whole life without, you know, I mean, just acting like an asshole, breaking shit, fighting people, doing dumb shit all the time.
See, yeah, I kind of did that anyway with the diagnosis. Unfortunately,
well, you're Scottish, so you have an excuse.
Yeah,
you did.
Totally
your people did invent fighting.
I'm just gonna check Mark Caesar's comment.
Okay.
Are we using diagnosis as crutches if we don't know there's something wrong? We could continue trying to be normal. I don't feel like a diagnosis is a crutch. I feel like a diagnosis is a series of explanations. I feel like I'm just as accountable for my actions as anybody else. I may have not even, depending on my headspace at the time. I still should apologize for calling somebody a cunt. Sorry, but I said it. When it was unnecessary. However, it was still on me that I still did it, regardless of where I was. Actions have consequences, and I've seen consequences for a lot of actions. But they do say that BPD does come from a trauma. Some people's BPD comes from a trauma, and
Yeah.
bearing in mind that when people are having an episode, they are in fight or flight response, and I'm not saying it's an explanation. No, not an excuse, but it's an explanation of why somebody behaves that way. I mean, I constantly have the splitting, and now my splittings normally goes from I love you to I hate you. And
Yeah.
that's normally how my splitting is. And that can be with friends and family, and it's hard because you should never react on the I hate you parts. Because it's really hard to not.
It seems real though. Like
Yeah.
that emotion that you're having at that split second seems just as real as any other one that you've ever had. Like
Mhm.
you feel that hate just as strong, even though
Mhm.
you're not going to hate that person in the next 2 seconds.
Exactly. So you have to just deep breaths, and when you know that you have it,
Mm-hmm.
you can prepare yourself for knowing. I mean, you learn yourself, you learn what your triggers are, you learn to stay away from them when you need to, you learn to adapt. My I was a really violent person. I now only am in certain situations. Hence the
I
little
was the
rage.
same.
And
I feel you.
I have to say one of the hardest parts about having BPD is when you have a favorite person. And I can currently say I do not have a favorite person. But when you have a favorite person, I don't know if everybody with BPD has this, but I know that I have in the past. And if you do have a favorite person, your own feelings are kind of locked into this other person's as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So if they're sad, you're sad. And I don't tell people I care when I don't. I do genuinely do really care about everybody on my Discord with my whole heart, and I mean it, and I'm fierce over them.
Yeah.
But they're not. It's not the same as them being my favorite person.
Mm-hmm.
Now some
Yeah.
people.
See,
Oh, you go.
I would always put that on a partner. Like that would be my thing. Like I would, whoever my partner at the time would be, like I would. They didn't know it, but that's
Mhm.
what came with me. I would. That is now my favorite person. And if
Mhm.
anybody does anything to them, I'm gonna, go scorched earth.
I was the same. Tusk's my first partner, who is not my favorite person.
Nice.
Oh, and I've just seen Mark Caesar. I thought Tusk was your favorite person at the minute. No, not in BPD terms. He is not my favorite person. I do not have one. But he is my favorite human. Different that I've made a life commitment with. And I mean my favorite person used to be my dad. Um, where I was very protective over him. And this was after my parents broke up. My dad became my favorite person for a while, and then it transferred onto ex-girlfriends. And it sounds so weird, but it's not like that. You just
Yeah,
completely.
I
Yes,
get what you're saying. Like
you
it may sound
KPI saying it
weird for somebody else,
perfectly.
but I get it.
Yeah, UKI is saying it perfectly. You attach full onto a person and get a massive fear of abandonment,
Yep.
but push the person away for strange reasons. Yep.
And then you try to pull them back. You
Yep.
push them, then you pull them back. You push them, and then you pull them back.
There's actually a book called I Hate You But Don't Leave Me, which is
Mm-hmm.
about a couple with BPD. I've not read it yet, but a lot of people I know in real life who have BPD have really recommended it. But it is a book, and I'm dyslexic, and I struggle reading. So, yes, it's true. It's one of them self-fulfilling prophecies where after my mom left, I was so scared that my dad would too. So I just,
Oh yeah.
I did everything to be a really good kid so that he wouldn't go as well. But before my dad, it was a best friend. We'd have sleepovers every weekend, like for the whole weekend, and go to school together on Monday. Like that kind of,
Yeah.
like, you know. And actually, I still talk to her now. She's still a really close friend, but we have a much better relationship now that she's not my favorite person. And I'm very glad I do not have a favorite person. I think my favorite person's now turned into favorite creature, which is
Oh.
really weird. I don't know if that's actually a thing, but I'm firmly attached to the head groomer's dog. He is my favorite thing I've ever seen in my entire life, and I love him, like aggressively love him. And my favorite part of the day at the groomers is when I take him out for a little walk for the toilet, because he like climbs up climbs up my leg to get cuddles, and I pick him up and I carry him up the stairs, and I'm like, okay, go pee, and then he's like, oh my god, and I don't know. I think I have a favorite animal rather than favorite person right now, which I didn't think was a thing, but I think it is,
It might be
especially
a
with
little
my
safer
obsession
than
with dogs.
having a favorite person.
I think so, but he's 10 now, so
Yeah, it's going to be dangerous for you
yeah, he has a chihuahua, so
emotionally.
he's gonna live forever.
Oh yeah, because they're assholes.
Yeah, he's living out spite and hate, like not unrealistic. Like, but yeah, so that's the key to dealing with BPD is to know the triggers and remove yourself. Exactly. Exactly,
Yes.
UKPI. It is a very, very difficult thing to do though, especially when you're unsure of your triggers. But also, I don't know how to explain this, but knowing why your triggers are your triggers, highly important. Highly important. Um, um, I mean, certain sounds, certain smells can also be triggers. Um, and it's really difficult to be away from them when they're on the TV. Well, the smells aren't on the TV, but the sounds are on the TV. They're everywhere.
Yeah, and like um, insecurities have a lot to do with it too.
Mhm.
Like when you have that favorite person and they're not behaving quite the way you think they should, or uh, I don't know if that's how it is for you, but
Mhm.
like and like I had problems driving other partners away from my insecurities, and then that would create a giant loop of depression and anxiety and all
Mhm.
sorts of other things like
Oh yeah.
that would.
Exactly like that. Oh, But then it would validate you that everybody will leave you one day and they all hate you. And then
yes.
that's like, fuck.
Yeah. Because I started
So,
telling my therapist this one time, I know my partner's cheating on me or blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, do you really know that? Well, no. And then it turned out she was. So then I was like,
oh,
see, I was right the whole
oh,
time.
oh no.
And like, I don't believe in psychic powers or any, crazy X-Men shit, except whenever I would be like having an episode. Then it'd be like, I can read minds. I know this person's out to get me. Like, I know,
Yep,
like, and then that would be clashing in my brain because I don't believe in that type of stuff. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly
Hey,
like that.
Winters.
Hi, Winters. But yeah, no, that's exactly what it's like. And you've decided, you've already written the conversation it's gonna happen, and it does happen, and you're like, shit.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I didn't want to be right, but I am right. And I'm like, I'm all knowing. And you suddenly feel like you have this power that you really don't have.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's worse. It is worse when it's validated 100%. And, when I do care and love for the people I love, I mean, I care and love anybody I'm interacting with. I maybe this is my black and white thinking here. I don't see any point in interacting with people I don't care for.
Yeah. I mean, makes sense.
I don't get why, but it is what it is. And I will be. I know your KPI. It did get mega deep. But like I'll say I'll be nice to the bus drivers and stuff like that, but I appreciate that they're doing their best to take me to where I need to go safely, whatever. But the people I talk to and choose to spend time with, I really care about. So when I feel like there's going to be something that's going to fuck with them, I get really paranoid that that's going to
Yeah.
happen and really scared for them. I just and spiral and just spiral and become really unwell. And it does. This is why I go to bed at set times, because I need to sleep. If I don't sleep and have my meals and do what I need to do to look after myself, then I know that can be a spiraling situation where then all this nonsense, horrific situations then happen.
You're just like
Okay.
imposing structure on your day.
Mm-hmm. But I need that.
Yeah.
And if my plan fails, I don't have a plan B, but I have a
All
plan
right.
B.
Yeah.
So then I knew that. So then I started creating a plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. And then
Yeah, I
it
do the
just
same
gets
thing.
overwhelming.
It's funny to talk to somebody that does the same shit I do. It's
Yeah. There's a couple of I hope you don't mind me saying this, but UKPI did say that he had BPD in the side chat, and me and
I
him
can
have
just
talked
tell by the
about a
things
few
he's
things.
saying.
Yeah,
I
so
can tell he knows something on the
yeah,
inside.
we've had conversations, and it's madness when and the thing that infuriates me the most is when people then claim that BPD wasn't really a thing. Because I've had that
Yeah.
before. Have you had that? Have you like BPD is not even a thing? It's an scapegoat. And I'm like, okay, well then, can you look at all these things and recognize that it's a fact? Like, so not only do you claim my gender's not real, you claim my mental health issues aren't real too. Am I just a figment of everybody's imagination?
Yeah, you're just getting gaslit from all angles.
Yep. That's exactly what it feels like.
And I mean, you're at the mercy of your therapist, kind of. Like if you're not in a good headspace when you find your therapist, and you just want somebody to talk to, they may be not very good at their job,
Mm-hmm.
and Yeah.
When I was 18, my therapist became my favorite person.
Oh,
Oh no. And, and I was just making the realization that I had abandonment issues. Yes,
hmm
I was just making the realization. And I was just like, yeah, so I think this all stems from this. And she was like, "Oh, um, just so you know, this is actually your last session. I'm leaving for maternity." I was like, "What?"
Oh,
Abandonment issues on top of
yeah.
abandonment issues.
Yeah.
Oh.
My last therapist moved away, and I haven't really had a therapist since, which luckily I haven't had many issues that require one. So
Mm.
I've got myself kind of under control. But yeah, whenever she was moving away, like I didn't even realize that I had attached anything.
Yep.
But then as soon as she said she was leaving, I'm like, what? I
Don't you
told you
dare.
all this. I told you all this information about me. Now, where are you going with it? Like it,
Yeah. I get you 100%. Because I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're pregnant? Like how could you? And she was like, could you not tell? And then she like stood up and she had this massive bump, and I was like, oh
she
yeah,
didn't
but
understand that was about you, though.
yeah,
This is
I
not
like
about her baby. This is
yeah.
about you and fixing you. And now what? Now where am I going to be?
Yeah. But I was also like, "You're leaving me? Like, why are you leaving me?" Like, I am so happy for you. Like, go
You
away.
just got here.
But I mean, I was seeing her for like a year, and there was so much stuff that I was trying to tell her, but I didn't have the courage. I didn't have the courage, so I wasn't ready to really talk about stuff. So that's
Yeah,
why,
because
like,
you were attaching emotions to your therapist,
yeah.
and I think I probably was too, because I found the same thing, like where you would feel like maybe ashamed to tell them something,
Mhm.
where if it was just a strictly clinical professional thought process, you would just tell them the issue. There wouldn't be, well, what if they think this, or what if they think I'm a bad person now because I thought this, and like,
Mm.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Like I had a diary she got me to write my feelings into and bring it
uh,
in and rate my mood from 1 to 10 every day. In there I would write obviously how I felt, what meals I'd actually eaten that day, whether or not I was unproductive with my coping strategies, meaning like whether if I hurt myself or not, um,
yeah.
and all of this kind of stuff. And she'd be like, "So, have you got anything to read for me from your book?" And I'm like, "No, it was all lovely. I had a great week." But like, it was just pages and pages. I actually refound the book a little while ago when I was looking for something. I can't really remember what. And I just found this little book and I was just looked through the pages and I was like, thank God that was like yeah, like well over like 10 years ago, like well over like forever ago, because I never want to go back there.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, it was just horrible because I was honest. I was like, ate one Haribo, next day slice of toast. You know, like how was I upright? Like how was I even existing? I don't know. I think I was only existing. Um
Yeah.
Probably out of spite and hatred. Yay! But
Like the great Chihuahua.
yeah, like a chihuahua, like existing out of spite and hatred. But UKPI does make a good positive thing about BPD. And the upside is when you're on cloud 9, you go nutty and bonkers, and everybody thinks you're so funny. That's
I
the
know.
thing. That's the thing.
That was confusing too. Because I started thinking like, oh, I'm just a funny weirdo, like.
Yeah, I'm just a happy-go-lucky funny weirdo.
Well, it starts encouraging the outbursts.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I would do that. I was the crazy drunk guy, but no, I was just having a episode and nobody knew it.
Yeah. Although I do have to say, the one positive thing with BPD is when you say you love someone, you're not lying.
No, but it's something that I don't think they understand.
No, they don't. Because when you care for somebody with BPD, you've got a real loyal person there that will fight your corner to the end of the earth. But you stab them in the back, you're dead to them. Like,
yeah.
And it's as quick as that. Also, hello, purple rhymes with orange. So you've came into a really heavy conversation, but Mark Caesar says, did keeping your journal like in a good way for you to realize how well you're doing for yourself? Yes, it did. It did help in a good way, as well as like totally. I had a meltdown, but afterwards I seen all the positive points because I was like, today I ate 3 meals. I didn't hurt myself, and I smiled, a real smile, and I felt real joy. And this is something I didn't feel then. It was all just a mask that I was just putting on for everybody else. I now for some reason I literally can't hide how I feel. It's written all over my face. You can see in my eyes. You can see in my avatar, but you can see in my eyes if I'm not feeling well. And back then you couldn't.
I think if people were paying attention to me, they probably could have, but I don't know. I wasn't surrounded with the greatest people either, so.
No, but also you then put people around you that enable that behavior subconsciously.
Well, there are people that'll take advantage of it. I don't think they understand. They don't understand what you're going through, but they understand your loyalty. They understood that this motherfucker will fight people to the death for me, like, and not quit. Yeah. And then they take advantage of that, and they're like, oh, we'll keep him around because if we get in a fight, this guy's crazy. Like, he will fuck people up, and like I had a group of people that just wanted me around for that reason. Like,
I did too. I was always smaller than them in all ways. And I was fierce though. I never backed down. Now I still have my fighting spirit, but for a while I lost it. Which sounds weird. Because I go from being really, really passive in certain situations to being, I'm gonna rip your head off. It's very much it depends on what Ette you get that day or hour in my case.
That's a good segment name. What Ette you get?
What Ette you get? Yeah. And it's I think people, it's a difficult side of yourself to admit that you have or had.
I see you in the kitchen there, Purple.
Yeah. Well, you cook.
I work in a kitchen too.
That's why knowledge is power. When you know what is happening, you can take measures to avoid situations and create a space in which you can thrive. Exactly, Mark Caesar. Exactly. See, I did like my CBT journal. That's cognitive behavioral therapy. Journal. I really did.
I never wrote mine. I did. I still have it, but it's a very dark, awful thing.
I'm gonna burn mine.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it for a while. I'm probably going to. I got some like lyrics and shit wrote in there that I want to like rip out, but like,
You keep them bits.
yeah, fuck. There's some awful things I've got written in there. Like it's hidden. I'll have to dig it out to burn it.
Well, when you're ready, always do it at your own pace. You know, this is.
Yeah.
I
I
kind of
still
like
use it
looking back.
as a reminder of what I was.
I mean, I kind of think with certain things, I'll always be in recovery from, and
Yeah.
you know, they'll always be there.
As long as you know that, though, that's a strength that you have now.
It is, and I feel like that is definitely power. And then, you know, and knowing that like simple things that can help me is by making sure that how do I say this without like freaking everybody out? Making sure this sounds like a weird thing, but making sure that Tusk always puts his razors in the bin and never leaves them out on display. Has his own special place for it. So where I don't know where it is, that I'm not around, because that is a trigger for me, or
Gotcha.
can be, which I maybe shouldn't have admitted that it's a trigger, but you know, there we are. I trust you, hopefully. And I feel like that's one little step to stop it. I feel like at least attempting to eat my 3 meals a day that are logical meals that do not consist of a Haribo, things like that, you know, like
A single piece of dry toast.
yeah, single piece of dry toast. And like I was that unwell that I actually wrote in my journal. This is totally oversharing here. That I believed that Vaseline for your lips contained calories, and that putting them on my lips I would gain weight.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I still have a phobia
The
from
petrol
chapstick.
calories.
I know, like calories from chapstick. I still have a slight phobia about it, but I'm doing a lot better. I have been wearing chapstick. Look at me, it's great. To be fair, after a little while, the texture freaks me out, so I have to take it off. But I do put it on, and I always got one in my bag. And I feel like that was a massive step for me, considering that I seen that in my journal. You know,
I would
like
say just the way you're talking about it, I can tell you're in a good place with it. You know, you're not hiding things. You're saying how it was, you know? Like
it is
I think
how it
that's
was.
good.
Not anymore. I mean, you guys see some of the meals that I eat. I would never have touched them a long time ago. You see them on Tusk's channel. Not because I didn't like food. I did like food, but I was scared of it. And I feel like, you know, we can all be brave, you know, and all be fierce, and we all have our different battles, and you know, they're not comparable. You know, I don't feel like they're comparable.
Yeah.
UKPI, sometimes people do use drinking as a form of self-harm. Just throwing that one out there a little bit. So maybe I don't know how to say that, but yeah, some people do. I mean, there's so many different forms of it that people don't even realize that it is a form of self-harm. Like, you know, biting all the skin off the ends of your nails and stuff like that. Like, that is a form of self-harm. It's just mine's is different.
Wow, I didn't even know that. Because I definitely do that.
But it depends on your intentions behind it. You know, some people do it as like a nervous thing, and some people do it because of other things, and you know, but that is a form of it, or could be a form of it. Pretty much doing anything that is self-deprivative. I don't know how to say that. How do you say it?
I'm not sure. Deprivative?
Anything that's bad on yourself and you're knowingly doing it to yourself can be a form of it. So some people don't even know they're doing it. They have no idea. I spent years punching myself in the thigh before things escalated. To the point where I'd always have like a bruise on my thigh. Now, bear in mind, I am also dyspraxic, so having bruises is not like does not necessarily mean that I've done something bad. Which I don't do that ever now, because then I'm kind of like, I can't explain it, and I can explain all of my bruises, and that's what makes me feel good that I can explain all my bruises. Which sounds weird because I'm always covered in them anyway. So if nobody noticed that I had more bruises, because I always had bruises. So that was a real subtle one. But I never realized I was doing it. I had no idea. And it was just a subconscious thing that I was doing. It wasn't till my mom, when I was 9, got a husky, and she started to nose my hand out of the way till I realized I was even doing it.
Oh. See, I used to bite myself. I would like bite real hard somewhere on my hand or wrist or something. Like, and I never really associated that with self-harm, but that's what it was. Because I would be thoroughly angry at something, and then that would be what I would do for some reason. But
I think people seem to think self-harm can just be cutting, but it's not. It's not just that. It is biting yourself, it's bruising yourself, it's slapping yourself in the face, it's biting
it's trying to get a physical pain for the non-physical pain you're feeling, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty much that. And you know, since we've talked a lot about it, I will explain a quick coping mechanism in case anybody out there is struggling with it. And we've just triggered something. Something that has helped me a lot is now this is gonna sound bizarre, but I like to put an elastic band around my wrist. Now that doesn't work. They tell you to twang it and just twang it. That doesn't work. I'm not gonna lie. That, for me, that did nothing. However, if you put icing sugar under, like a red icing sugar under the elastic band, and then twang it, that's more of the feeling you're looking for. That's more what you want.
Add some abrasive under there, huh?
It gives a visual.
Oh. Oh, I gotcha.
It feels better. It's better for that. Also, also, that was one of them. Another one is I would aggressively draw on my legs. I would choose a pen, whatever pen, ballpoint pen was best, and just draw and draw and draw until I just felt exhausted from it. So at one point, I think I just colored in my leg with a pen. And that seemed to help quite a lot. Now, Other things is screaming into a pillow.
I've
Which
definitely done my share of that.
oh yeah, that's the good stuff. But grounding myself does help a lot. To be fair, I now have some tablets I take when I'm feeling myself escalate, because I was fighting medication for years and years and years and years, like for too long I was fighting medication. So take your socks off. I know that sounds like a weird important part, but take your socks off, because I bet you the feeling of your socks on your feet is going to be really irritating right now. You put your hands on a hard, cold surface. You stand so that you can put your entire weight on the wall, and you push that wall as if you're trying to push it over. That's another technique to ground myself. And sometimes I like to just take my socks off and put them in some water. Put my little feet in some water. Just anything that is not what's going on right now, change it. Change your environment if you need to.
Something to kind of shock you out of it.
Mm-hmm. And not boiling water. Never boiling water.
Right.
That was a mistake. Or really cold water. Don't do that. Just lukewarm water. Just put your feet in water and have a angry splash. You need to just get it out one way or another. And these seem like really stupid techniques, but you know when you're feeling like you're all kinds of ways?
Yeah.
They help. My favorite one is the elastic band with icing sugar, preferably red, and the wall. The wall. They're my two favorite things. Yeah, I used to fast for long periods of time but drank heavy spirits. That was my punishment to myself. I still do it, unfortunately. Hopefully you can find something that's that may work better for you, because that's one of them things where you feel bad and then you do it again and you feel bad for doing it, so you do it again, unfortunately. I'm not intending to sound like your DPT counselor. I'm not intending to. But they're just some techniques that have helped me personally. And it's not feet soup, it's splashy angry. Okay, Mark Caesar, it's splashy angry. Little angry splash. I also really like to aggressively clean the shower. I don't know why.
I
Really
wish I did.
aggressively clean the shower. Yeah, whenever I'm feeling all kinds of ways, I'm like, I'm going for a shower now, and because I've done that, I leave the door open, because it makes me feel comfortable if I leave the door open when I'm having a shower, when I'm feeling all kinds of ways. It also makes me feel like I'm
Okay.
being watched, so I won't do anything inappropriate. So I just really, really scrub the shower. Do you know, when you have the thing that stops you from falling over on the shower, like the sticky thing?
Yeah, yeah.
I peel that up. Sorry, what's it called?
Oh, I don't know. I like the shower mat or
Yeah, the shower mat in the shower. I peel that up and I clean all the stuff off it. I just sit there like,
I need to get violent with my cleaning.
It
I
feels
mean,
so good. It feels
like
so
in my
good.
depression, like my cleaning and my personal hygiene will get out of control sometimes.
Mm.
So yeah, I need to get that. I need to get fired up about cleaning stuff.
Oh, and I'm always like I must clean. So I don't have that with self-cleaning, because I know I have to keep on top of my psoriasis or I'll feel worse about myself. So I do always shower and look after myself that way. But I am so guilty for leaving mess behind me. If I'm in a bad headspace, I'll leave like stuff. Like I have the couch that me and Tusk don't sit on. I call it the depression couch, which just kind of collects stuff. At the moment, it's got my Secret Santa, a jacket, a puzzle box, a picture, my pajamas, like a jacket, box COVID tests, random, the depression couch. That's what it is.
Yeah, my
It just,
house has places where stuff accumulates,
Mhm.
and I look at it and I hate it, and I just let it sit there.
Mhm. I do have that sometimes. I do, and it's mainly like the depression couch, or if I've done a hobby and I've been so into doing a hobby, and then I've got really, really depressed, and then the hobby's just everywhere. And Tusk's like, "You need to tidy this up," and I'm like, like crying, and he's like, "Come on, like let's do this together." And then as soon as he's like, "Let's do this together," I'm like, "Okay," and I help out, but I do love. I don't know what it is about cleaning the bathroom, like all around the toilet, like get so angry, like like you feel fire coming out of your ears. Just get a scrubbing brush and beat the shit out of the toilet.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, your toilet will never be so clean in your life. Trust me. Like the grout round the taps. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
So good. Clean it. Clean it. You can do it. Like, don't purposely make yourself angry for it, but like there's something about it that just hits a spot that just makes me feel so good. And then after I've done it, that then sends me into a cleaning frenzy.
I'm gonna try it for sure.
Cause I go for a shower to like cool myself down. Cause I don't know, it's like I'm retreating back to the womb. I just like curl up in a little ball in the shower, and then I start noticing things. And because I always do this, I've got like a little scrubbing brush sitting there quite happily in the shower, and then I've
Yeah,
got
I got
like
one too.
cleaning products right next to it. So I'm like, oh, here we go, and then I just start scrubbing. But I
See,
think
it's
it's
weird.
because
I've set myself up for it already. I have the same thing.
so
I don't
close.
use them as often as I need to.
So close for it. You could do it. You could do it. Next time, just be like, fucking shower, you bastard, and just scrub it. Just name each tile something you're angry at and scrub it. And then you're like, right, well, that's gone. Next. Nah. Next. And just go along them. In fact, even make patterns of it. Just to keep
Yeah.
yourself entertained.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
It sounds like it's working.
It does. I've really started it this year, which is why I attribute to me being quite well behaved this year when it comes to myself. So I'm pretty proud of myself, to be honest. It's been a whole like this year that I've not, and I'm like, hell yeah, like
Yeah, that is something to be proud of.
And hopefully this time next year I'll be able to say it's been a whole year and a half. Yes, like.
Hopefully, it'll accumulate so much you forget about it, and it's not even a thing anymore.
I hope so.
And then you'll remember 10 years from now and be like, oh, holy shit.
Yeah. Or I maybe won't remember because I've got it all covered up now with tattoos.
Yeah.
Because that's my goal. Because I know as well if I can't if I do it, then if I do keep going, then I won't be able to get the tattoos I want where I want.
Yeah, you're gonna mess up the things you like.
And I'm not gonna do that.
Right.
Somebody spent their good hard time on that, so
You're using psychology on yourself, and I don't think you even know it.
It's reverse psychology. It's great.
Yeah.
Hello, Beano Just Be.
Hey, Bino.
But yeah, so yeah, get angry and clean the shower. It's great. Retreat to the womb and then start cleaning the shower. There's something
That's like song lyrics.
mm-hmm.
Retreat to the womb and start cleaning the shower.
You need to write me a. You need to definitely write me a song about BPD now. Well, not write me a song, but write a song and send it to me because I would love to see it about BPD. I do think the scrubbing comes from when I used to meticulously clean myself, like and scrub, because I was a germaphobe for a while, a long time, and COVID validated all my fears. So, like the first few months of COVID, I did not leave the house. Like I was terrified, but I got better and did better.
That's good.
I should open a mental health talks. I should do that. In fact, I shall do that. I will do that. I will put it with an age restriction thing. Not that I have any minors on my Discord anyway, but I will put it with a age restriction just so that people have to consent to go on it because
They
I
could
don't
be
want to set
triggered.
rules. Yeah, I've tried my best to keep like separate things from there. If I could live anywhere in any kind of house, what and where would it be? Ooh, I've always loved the idea of having a little cottage, you know, somewhere in the
Yeah,
Highlands where I
like
can like
made out of
Mhm.
rocks that looks just like the cliffs.
Yeah, kind of like a hobbit hole, you know?
Yeah,
I've always wanted something like that. That
something
idea
like
of
that, or like
a
a tree house in the rainforest or something would be cool.
yeah, something where I'm like,
You could see all the
or
animals and birds and monkeys
yeah,
and stuff.
because honestly, animals make me so happy. That's why I wanted to be a dog groomer. I love dogs. I understand dogs. You know, I want to help dogs and make them
Yeah,
pretty and sometimes ridiculous, but also pretty. um, yeah. So somewhere I can have all my animals. Somewhere I need to have the Wi-Fi. I need that. Sorry, the Wi-Fi. I need that though. I do need it, or I won't be able to talk to you guys.
yeah, we need that.
Hmm. I also feel like we should have a mental health talk voice channel. Because to be honest with you, I struggle typing situations that's going on. The reason why I didn't is because on Tusk's Discord, he had a mental health channel.
Hmm.
So I didn't want to take away from that, but it appears he's not really doing much on it at the moment. So I shall put it up for my little gang, my little friends. In fact, I shall do that now as we speak, so I do not forget. I've got so many channels now; it's madness.
That's good. There's a nice little community on there.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody in the chat that's not in the Discord should probably join the Discord.
Definitely. I don't know how to make it there. That's age restricted now. There we go. It didn't want to age restrict itself. I'm gonna say no pictures, please, just in case. because no triggering pictures. You're more than welcome to have put up little memes and stuff in there, but yeah, no triggering pictures, please. Because that would not be fun for anyone, and it will be deleted, and you will get a warning or potentially booted. No offense, but also don't do it. Like, I can only go so far, you know. Okay, there we go. It's done. Now have a mental health chit chat in there. And also remember, none of us are licensed therapists. We can
No,
do the best we can. And at least
it's a
you'll be
good
able
place
to
to talk about your problems or solutions to problems that maybe we need to know.
Exactly. What do you do instead of beat up the shower?
Right.
Because I'd like to know, because I want to know if I can. Well, to be fair, I do aggressively sieve the bearded dragon's vivarium. I take her out really gently, and then I just attack it. Clean it. Pin messages. I think that's it all said. I never realized we were going to get so deep into mental health chat today.
I had no idea, but I'm kind of made for a good conversation.
Well, yeah, I'm glad. I know I've got lots of stories yet to tell, but I don't feel like now's the time. In relation to mental health, but now's not the time. But there's a little tiny window into my head. Little tiny. What's it? What's the thing you put a letterbox? Little letterbox peek.
I've enjoyed a great deal of talking to you.
Me too, and I've enjoyed the people who's been, sharing their stories in the side chat.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
worry, just because I've not mentioned it doesn't mean I've not read it. It's only because either Doomver was talking and I wasn't going to be rude. But yeah, I kind of feel like that wraps us up a little bit for today.
Yeah, it's kind of winding down.
How about we say something nice to end on, huh?
Yeah. What's it going to be?
I don't know. Are you looking forward to anything this year?
I'm looking forward to getting out and hiking in new places.
Ooh, and we have a beautiful section in my Discord to do that.
Yes. How about you? Do you got any upcoming plans or events coming?
In the very near future, next Sunday, I'm looking forward to getting tattooed.
Cool.
And in the future, I'm looking forward to getting better, a bit better, and being a braver person, a better person, and a stronger person. I feel like we can all do that.
I think you can do it.
I think I can.
And we're all going to be here for each other. So.
And just because somebody doesn't get back to you right away doesn't mean you're not going to get back to. Especially on the Discord, because it appears we're all sleepyheads and go to bed quite early.
Yes. And we all got jobs and we're all struggling along just like each other.
Indeed. We're all doing our best we can. So I'm going to say you better look after each other and look after yourselves. And is there a last question? I think I've not missed anything. Oh, no, now you're a sook up. Oh, that's awfully sweet. I think I can still do better, though. I think we all can, you know.
Yeah.
Actually, I am looking forward to something. I'm part of a charity that we get together and we have gigs, and we just express ourselves through music. It doesn't matter how we sound, what we do, only that we do. And I'm looking forward to
Oh,
that next month.
that sounds really cool. You'll have to keep us informed about it.
Yeah, last night I sung science fiction double feature, and I also sung the postmodern jukebox version of Seven Nation Army,
Cool.
which is actually really good.
That's it. It's very brave to get up and sing. Like I hate my voice.
Oh, I hate mine too. But I wanted to express myself, and that's how I can, because I can't play music.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have a voice to be able to use, and it doesn't matter how you sound with the charity, only that you do.
Yeah.
And that's what's good.
Well, that's awesome.
Oh, I hope not.
Ugh.
So, on that note, I'm going to put Doomver's links once I've finished the stream in the description below. So thank you for letting me steal you for a bit, Doomver.
You're very welcome. I hope I did it good.
Yeah, you definitely helped, because I was struggling. I was like, I should have prepared bringing somebody else on to help me with this. I mean, me and YouTube PI actually spoke about it last week, and then I completely failed to do so.
Well,
But
I'm glad I was here for you then.
I'm glad you were too. And I want to say bye-bye to the lovely peoples. And
Yes.
so
To Mark and Mark Caesar and UKPI and Irish Stew.
Bino.
Yes, Bino Just Be. Yes.
Who else is still kicking about? And anybody else that's still kicking about that we didn't scare away with super heavy content today. And thank you all for joining me and learning a little bit about what goes on in my head.
Yes, and thanks for sharing with us, Ette, because it was very interesting and very fun.
Oh, thank you. And hello, Nimrod.
Critical Cripple and Nimrod.
And Critical Cripple, hello. And also goodbye.
Yes, and also goodbye.
And I shall... Okay, I'm gonna say bye-bye, and then 3, 2, 1, and we'll do the outro. So
Goodbye.
goodbye. Thank you.